We'll discuss these two questions, their answers in detail. One is explain and illustrate fully the doctrine of supervening impossibility in the performance of a contract, then write a comprehensive essay on the doctrine of frustration. So, in both these, there are certain rules governing such doctrine of supervening impossibility, which itself is a part of the doctrine of frustration. So, one of the first rules or principles that governing is destruction of the very subject matter which is a part of the contract, and in that case we will discuss an important leading case, and that is Taylor versus Caldwell in 1863. That Taylor booked a musical performance in a theater of Caldwell, the defendant, and in between the very theater which would perform the musical performance was destroyed. So now it would be impossible for the performance of the musical performance, as because the very supervening impossibility or event or the circumstance that the very theater was destroyed. So here Taylor, even though sued Caldwell, but Caldwell will not be liable to pay for the loss that was suffered by Taylor, as because of the supervening impossibility of the very destruction of the subject matter of the contract, and the second one, the non-performance of the event is also a kind of supervening impossibility regarding performance of a contract or discharge of the obligation as per the contract. So, in that connection, we would like to discuss another important leading case, and that is Creel versus Henry, where Creel booked a building to witness the very coronation ceremony of King Edward VII, but the very coronation function was cancelled. So here, even though Creel sued Henry, but due to the supervening impossibility of that coronation ceremony of King Edward VII, as it was cancelled, so here Henry was not liable to any damages, as because of the supervening impossibility of the performance of that event. And the third one is regarding change in law. So in that context, we could discuss one illustration that a sawmill entered into a contract with the forest department for supply of teak woods. In between, the Parliament of India brought the Forest Conservation Act 1980. So now it is impossible to perform the contract due to the very prohibition of cutting down and supplying of any tree, whether it is part of any forest, as per the Forest Conservation of 1980 Act. So that is an supervening impossibility to performance of a contract as regarding the very change in law. So also another supervening impossibility of the event and circumstance regarding performance of a contract is outbreak of war. So, in that connection, we would like to discuss an illustration. A merchant of Bombay reached an contract for supplying edible oils to another merchant of Karachi in Pakistan. But in between, as there is an outbreak of war in between India and Pakistan, so now it would be difficult to perform the very contract of supplying that edible oils to Karachi, as now both the countries became enemy, and at the time of contract they were having friendly relation. So this is due to outbreak of war, which is a supervening event or circumstance which made it impossible in the very performance of the contracts. And all these supervening impossibility in the performance of contract is itself a part of the very doctrine of frustration. And now we'll discuss regarding certain other questions relating to breach of contract. So, when it is an breach of contract, there are certain remedies available to the parties. So, in case of cancellation or rescission, we can discuss a illustration. Mohan promises to sell certain goods to Sohan at Rs 1000, but then refuses to deliver the goods. So now Sohan is free from the contract. Either he could cancel or he can rescind from the very contract. So also another important rule or principle part of breach of contracts under remedies is claim for quantum merit. So, compensation in this very remedy is not decided in the contract. So, it would be decided by law according to the circumstances to each case. So, in that context, we will discuss an illustration. A contractor was engaged by B to build a house at Rs 50 lakh, and in between B abrogates the very contract so A can sue for damages caused to him by cancellation of that contract, and regarding that he could claim compensation, and that would be decided by the court of law. And in such case the very compensation would be decided under law by the court of law. And regarding the third remedy that we found, the claim for injunction, and in that context we could discuss a very important leading case, and that is Warner Brothers versus Nelson. So Nelson, a film actress, entered into a contract with the film producers Warner Brothers not to work with any other producer within 1 year, but she entered another contract with another producer within the same year. So here, as she breached the very contract, so the film producer Warner Brothers can claim for injunction to prohibit her to act with the other film producers. So also another remedy that is available under breach of contract is the claim for restitution. So when contracts becomes void, so the parties are bound to make compensation. So, an illustration in this connection, we would like to discuss A gives Irs 1 lakh to B on the condition that B will marry C, the daughter of A. But in between, she died, so the contract becomes void and B has to return the money. So, this is regarding the claim for restitution. So, also, there are certain other rules governing such as claims for specific performance when damages not sufficient to remedy. Court can direct the defaulter party to perform. So, an illustration regarding that A in search of purchasing a house in a locality that is X entered into a contract with B, but later on B refused to sell the house, so A can go to the court for direction to B for specific performance of the contract. And regarding the most important remedy under breach of contract is claim for damages. So it is a monetary compensation, the purpose to help the party who suffered and to retain his previous position. And in that context, we would like to discuss an illustration. A orders to B for 100 cycle tires at rupees 50 to be delivered before 1st May, but B refused on the same day, and for the cycle tires becomes rupees 55 from 1st May, so here B would have to pay Rs 500 as compensation to A which he suffered due to the refusal of performance of the contract. And regarding such damages, we could like to find out there are so many damages like the general and special damages, vindictive and nominal damages, liquidated damages and penalty. So all these we will discuss in our next upcoming video regarding those. And this anticipatory breach or the breach of the contract that already we found under question number 25, which asks what are the remedies for breach of a contract, what is meant by damages, what is the principle underlining it, summarize the rule governing penalty and liquidated damages resulting from a breach of contract, and distinguish between the two, and what is meant by quantum merit, and all those we will discuss in our upcoming video to find out the real answers of these questions.